Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Gunpla News episode 44 for December 2018, our last episode of the year. And this is going to kind of cover for January as well, although there won't be an episode next month in January. I'll get back to that in a moment. But as usual, we're going to be breaking this down into a few parts. We've got the news section first, where we're going to talk about some news things, and then announcements, where there's really not really all that many announcements, with like half or more than half of them just being P-Bandai kits that are announced. And then some updates, so we'll go through some of those. I don't really want to go through all of them at the moment. And then that's just on like kits and figures and stuff that we knew are coming out. But I'll just kind of talk about some new information that we've got since I've talked about them last time. And then there was going to be a little bit about some new resin kits and third-party kits that are on the way. There's some really cool stuff in that section. Don't usually have often a lot of stuff in that particular segment of Gunpla News, but there's a good amount of stuff and some pretty cool stuff in there this time. And then the last segment is features. I don't have any features this month just because of time constraints. I wanted to make this video a little bit shorter if possible. So let's just get into the news, shall we? And I'll explain why. Now, the first thing is that I will be leaving. I will be on a 2 weeks vacation. So I'm going back to my original home in the US with my family. We're going there for 2 weeks vacation from New Year's Eve, from Christmas Eve. So from Christmas Eve on to and also like the first week of January, I will maybe have a couple of videos that I'll have pre-recorded to be able to post for you guys. But for the most part, I'll be pretty inactive for the majority of that time, as I'll just be hanging out with my family in the U.S. there. So Merry Christmas to everyone and Happy New Year to all of you guys. Like I said, you will hear from me a little bit, but just don't be surprised by that. And so one thing that you will be hearing from me about during that time is that I plan to, on January 1st, drop my video, which will be announcing my next contest. Now, I don't want to quite reveal to you guys what that is going to be yet, but it's going to be a new custom building contest. So like I've done in the past with building a custom Zaku and a custom unicorn building contest, this time it's going to be something a little bit different. And I'll announce that to you guys on January 1st. So make sure you watch that one when that comes up. Next thing is I've got a couple of kits for sale. A few of them are here, actually. The majority of them are here. A few people asked about my Master Grade Jagan. That one is already sold, but these ones here are not sold yet. The Gyanko, the HG SD Kit Bash Gym, as well as this Kapul build that I've got here, as well as my GBWC diorama, which is just still in the box here from when I brought it back from GBWC. I haven't actually taken it back out of the box yet, just because I need to repack it. Anyway, I'm still hoping to sell that. So if you guys are interested in buying any of these completed works, just send me a message, preferably on my Facebook page, and we'll sort that out. Next thing here is recently I did a speed build off with my friend Alex. His channel is Alex Dedoof Studios. You can check out his channel. I'll put a link to that down below. We speed built the new HG GBN guard frame kit, and it was a lot of fun. If you guys haven't seen that, I won't spoil the surprise as to who won the speed build off, but I mean, you already know who won. And the last point of news here is that Daban is the next on the list of Bandai's victims of shut down Chinese bootleg companies. So they're knocking them all out pretty well. I really hope that they don't go after Mechanicore, because that's especially because I've got pre-orders from Mechanicore. So I really hope that they don't shut them down. But Mechanicore is one of the few remaining of like the big Chinese companies that have been around for a while that Bandai hasn't shut down yet. There's different reasons as to why Bandai shuts them down. I think ultimately they don't cut into Bandai's profits really all that much, but it's more like legal reasons and things like that about maintaining their trademarks, as well as being related to their stockholders and things like that. People losing their jobs and all that is important. So at the moment, I really haven't seen too much reaction to this quite yet. I feel like the people will be probably pretty divided. I think a lot of people don't really worry about Daban kits because, well, they may be okay with like other like third-party iterations, which are also still bootlegs, but like things like Mechanicore and things where they're making their own designs, I think a lot more people are more accepting of that. A lot fewer people are maybe accepting of Daban, which typically tends to be just straight one-to-one copies of Bandai kits. But then again, there are a lot of people who do really enjoy buying those just straight bootleg kits just because of the much cheaper prices of them. I feel like those people will probably be pretty upset about this, but on the other hand, you cut one head off, two will come back in its place. So I'm sure that bootlegs out of China will not go away, but Daban in the meantime will be going away. So that is the news. Let's get on into the announcements. So for like figure and things things related to figures and candy toys and things like that. Really, there's only one thing that I noticed, unless I missed something, is that Gundam Converge Series 15 was announced just the other day. That is going to be coming out in May for 5,400 yen. That's for a box of 10 of them, so about $5 each if you can get them at list price individually. This set is going to be including the Narrative Gundam C packs. If you forgot, the Narrative Gundam B packs is going to be coming out in Converge Series 14. And there's also going to be the Gundam X Divider and the Gundam X by itself. It's with the satellite cannon open. The Gundam X Divider, obviously, with the X Divider shield. And then also the Silhouette Gundam from F91. And then also the Vertigo, which is also from Gundam X. I'm really super happy about that. This is probably my favorite one in this series. I love the design of the Vertigo. Really hope that eventually we'll get an HGUC kit of that. I'm hoping so. And then finally, the Zigok, classic Zigok. Of course, we've had a converged Zigok before. This is going to be another like new updated version that they've done with different ones in the past, like the Cubile, for example. And this one does look pretty cool. So based on how they typically divide up the boxes, if you do get a box of 10 of them, you'll get 2 Gundam Narratives, 1 X Divider, 1 Gundam X, 2 Silhouette Gundams, 2 Vertigos, 2 Zigoks. So basically 2 of everything except for the X Gundam. I think you'll just get 1 of each of those. But so my point is that you'll get, if you buy the box of them, 2 Zigoks, which will be a great opportunity to keep one in Shara's colors and repaint the other one into either the blue type or the green type one. So that is definitely something that I'll probably be planning to do with mine, which will be a lot of fun. So let's get into the Gundam kits that were announced for this past month. The first thing is a Gundam Base exclusive kit. This is HGUC Blue Destiny Unit 1 Exam Metallic Gloss Injection Kit. This is coming out next month in January for 1,600 yen. I think that's the same price as just the regular kit. Usually clear color kits, metallic gloss injection kits are usually about the same price because they're not really anything different about them. It's just different different colors of plastic essentially. So yeah, if you can get that at list price, it won't be very expensive. The Blue Destiny there looks pretty interesting, not bad, in shiny blue. And then into the P Bandai stuff, of which there's a fair amount of. So P Bandai Perfect Grade Gundam Astray Red Frame Metallic Gloss Injection. This one is coming out in April for 18,000 yen. This one as well. This was a Gundam Base exclusive that they're now going to be selling through the P Bandai online shop as well. So they do this with some releases just to make them more widely available for people in Japan who maybe can't get to Gundam Base in Tokyo. But then obviously those of us outside of Japan can get them as well by paying a little bit higher prices for them, unfortunately. But that one is going to be coming out also. And then the Master Grade P Bandai Gundam Astray Red Dragon. So a lot of people are really excited about this. I mean, not me. I'm planning on getting that. It's not really to my personal taste at all. It's a little bit too wild for me. But that's coming out in February for 7,000 yen. It's coming with like the big, huge beam V-fin attachment, which is kind of interesting. And then it has 3 of the Kalitvich. I don't know how that's supposed to be pronounced. Kalitvich, maybe. It's got 3 of them on its back. I really don't like the look of that weapon. I don't like how that looks at all. So it's interesting, but yeah, that's coming out in February. Also coming out in February is the P Bandai Master Grade Gundam F91 version 2.0. After image color versions. This is basically like a clear color version of the 2.0 Master Grade F91 Gundam. And this is one of those times where like a clear color actually like kind of makes sense as to something that like actually makes sense for what the Gundam can do. Another example would have been like the clear version of the Master Grade Blitz that came out a long time ago. Because of the Blitz having that actual ability to become invisible, it kind of made sense to have a clear version of the kit. And in this case too, because of the F91 having the after image ability. So it does look pretty cool. So if you like have it like this, how they're having a few of the promotional images where they have like 1 of the regular kit and then 2 of the after image kit, it looks really awesome. I think if you wanted to buy 3 Masquerade F91 kits, 2 of them being P Bandai kits, then you could make something like that. It's looking pretty cool, but it's going to be costing quite a bit. So just again, that's out in February for 4,000 yen. Again, not that expensive if you can get it near the list price. So next one, this one is a little bit more expensive. This is the P Bandai Mastergrade 00 Quanta Full Saber Special Coating version. So as you know, if you've been following my channel or just Gunpla news in general, special coating versions are always much more expensive, usually almost double the price of the normal kit for the special coating versions. Aside from this being specially coated and just like the main Gundam, but the beam effect parts, or like the green clear color parts, are also very much more sparkly. They have a lot of like sparkle injected like in the plastic. There's sparkly bits in the plastic. But that part looks really cool. I actually kind of wish that the regular effect parts for the original kit would have been like really sparkly like that. That one actually, that aspect of this kit does look really nice. But anyway, this one is out in March for 10,000 yen. About I saw online that the price is maybe not fixed yet, so that might change, but around 10,000 yen, if not a little bit more possibly. So next one here is the P Bandai RG Unicorn Gundam 02 Banshee Norn Final Battle version. This is basically the RG Banshee Norn with the green Psycho frame and green color markings for this. This is going to be out in February for 4,000 yen. Not very surprising with that one. Again, it looks cool, but you know, if you've already seen that in master grade, perfect grade form, high grade form, you know, nothing really too new about that. And this one is something that I'm really super excited for. This is the P Bandai HGUC Neo Zeong narrative version, or like Neo Zeong 2, but they have like the 2 in front of the Neo Zeong name, so it's like NZ9992 Neo Zeong narrative version. So Neo Zeong 2 or just Neo Zeong narrative version, whatever you want to call it. It's a white narrative version of the HGUC Neo Zeong, and I'm really, really excited for that. I don't know why. It's like a big giant kit, and it's like barely different from the original version, but it's just really fun building a kit of that size. I really, really enjoyed building the regular Neo Zeong, and so I really can't wait to build this one as well. And of course, the Shinanju Stein is a fantastic kit, so it comes with a Shinanju Stein, of course. Other things that it comes with, it does have a few different parts on it, like the main shoulder parts, the front parts there is a little bit different on it. It's got some new parts for that. It also comes with water slide decals, a little bit. The original kit did come with one water slide decal for the Neo Zeong logo there on the back skirt, Neo Zeon logo. But this one comes with a little bit more in terms of the water slide decals. It's not a huge sheet, but it does have a fair amount of them. I think there's a few for the actual Shinanju Stein itself, and then a few for the mobile armor. So it looks really cool. I'm really excited for that. They also are reissuing the Psycho Shard ring effect part, so if you didn't get that before, that's getting a reissue. If you want to get that. And the last couple of things here from P Bandai is the HGUC Rigelgu Unicorn version. So as you guys know, I reviewed the Double Zeta version of that, which was also a P Bandai kit that came out not too long ago. And I was so happy that that finally got an HGUC release. And now we're getting the Unicorn version of it as well. And basically all it's different is just it's different colors. And this one comes with a beam machine gun as well as the regular Rigelgu rifle, as well as the original Gelgug rifle. So you actually have 3 different rifle options in this, I believe, and as well as the beam Naginata as well. So you have a lot of different weapon options with this kit. I have already got the regular Double Zeta version, as well as a resin conversion kit for it, as well as the old 1/144 scale kit for this. So I think I'm going to pass on this version. As much as I love the Rigelgu, already having kind of 3 different versions of it, I think I'm okay with passing on this one. But it does look really nice. That's out in March for 2,200 yen. If you missed the Rigelgu before, then I would recommend getting one. It's a really nice kit, actually, despite the fact that it's based on the kind of older HGUC Gelgug kit. It's still pretty good. And then this last one here is the P Bandai HGUC DJ narrative version. Now, I haven't seen the price or the release date for this one yet. But it's just basically the HGUC DJ just came out. Mine is actually in the mail, so I'll be getting that, and I'll be reviewing that probably once I get back from vacation, so later in January. But yeah, the DJ is coming out in its narrative version, and as far as I can tell, it's just basically different colors, and then it has a little bit different like shoulder attachment part there on there, which I'm not exactly sure what that is, but that's it. Not really too different for that one. We do have a couple of new releases on the way that are just standard release, and emphasis on a couple, not really all that many. The Master Grade Gundam Age 2 Magnum is going to be our first just standard release Master Grade kit from Gundam Build Divers, finally. Not very surprising that it's the Age 2 Magnum, considering that it's the Age 2 Master Grade already exists, and they just need to make a few new parts for it. So this one is out in March for 5,500 yen, and I'm looking forward to that. The HG version of this I really enjoyed, so I think the Master Grade should be pretty nice as well. I've also built and reviewed just the regular Master Grade H2. Actually, it was the Special Forces version, but same thing. So I know that kit is also really good already as well, so this one being a kind of cool version of a kit that's already good should be good. And then the HGUC Narrative Gundam C packs, as I kind of predicted in my review of the A packs. Just this news just came out just a couple days after my review. The C packs is coming out, which is the more psycho-framed up version of this. If it didn't already look like a mashup between the new Gundam and the Unicorn Gundam, I think the A packs, or like the version without all the psycho-frame parts, looks a little bit more like the new Gundam. Now it's definitely looking a little bit more like the Unicorn Gundam, of course. And so it's kind of interesting. It's 2,200 yen for this, coming out in March, and it has the just kind of typical Gundam armaments of the shield and the beam rifle. So I think this is going to be probably a little bit more consumable release, where the Apex was pretty expensive, and a lot of people might not be interested in the giant mobile armor parts for that. This one I think might be more popular for people to just pick up, more on a whim, but people might still not be into this. I don't know. My feeling is that it's kind of interesting. I can dig it. It's not bad. The next thing here is a new branch of SD Sangoku kits here. It's Sangoku Soketsuden. Is a new series of SD Sangoku kits that are coming out here in March and April. So in March we've got 3, and then in April there's 3. So the first ones here are the Guan Yuyun Chang New Gundam. I'll just give you guys a couple images of this. I don't really know what to say about them, as this is not really the kind of thing that I'm really particularly interested in. And I don't really know a whole lot about the SD Sangoku line or series or story about them, but yeah, there's that one first. And I'm also going to butcher the Chinese names of these, so sorry about that as well. That's 600 yen. And then also the Liu Bei Unicorn Gundam, also 600 yen. And again, it's just a Sangoku version of the Unicorn Gundam. And then the Zhang Fei God Gundam. This one is out in March as well for 600 yen also. And this one, I think, of the 3 of these, the new, the Unicorn, and the God Gundam, this one looks the least amount like the original God Gundam, especially because it doesn't have any sort of backpack on it, as far as I can tell, or it doesn't have the backpack that resembles the God Gundam's backpack. So I don't know if that's maybe just not really seen in the picture so far, or what. And then in April, we have the Cao Cao Wing Gundam. This one definitely kind of has a wing vibe to it. It's very feathery, spiky, pokey. And then, yeah, that's out for 800 yen, so a little bit more expensive. That's the most expensive of the 6 kits that are coming out. And then also the Sunjian the Sunjian Gundam Astray is out in April for 700 yen. This one based off of the Astray gold frame, kind of it looks like, and not so much the red frame, which is kind of the most popular version. But this one looks more based off of the Astray gold frame. And the last one here is the Dongzhou Providence Gundam. Providence is a strange choice. You've got like all of Bandai's most popular designs. The new Gundam, the Unicorn, the God Gundam, not quite as popular. The Wing Gundam, the Astray, all really popular. And the Providence? It's relatively popular, but seems like a little bit of a strange choice. But anyway, this one also is out in April for 600 yen. So those are interesting. Again, not really my cup of tea, but if you're interested in that kind of stuff, there you go. So let's get into the updates. Now, there was a lot of stuff announced last month for figures and things like that, but there really hasn't been much in the way of updates on any of the figure things. So I'm just going to kind of skip through all of that. I think if you're interested in knowing about what kind of figures and candy toys and things like that are coming out in the future, then maybe check last month's episode. I went through all of that. There's not really anything else new to say about any of that stuff at the moment. So there's a handful of Robot Damashis and Converge and a Mobile Suit Ensemble and things like that. So if that's kind of stuff that you're interested in, go check out last month's episode of Gunpla News. what I want to get into is just talking a little bit about some of the kits and things that we have on the way. For P Bandai kits, again, I've talked about all these before, and nothing really new except for maybe having a few new photos of some of these. So I'll just kind of run down the list and remind you guys what P Bandai kits are on the way. We have the P Bandai High-Res Wing Gundam EW out in February for 13,500 yen for that one, as well as the P Bandai Master Grade Hyakushiki Crash out in January for 5,800 yen. Cubile Damned just recently came out, so hopefully I'll be getting that soon as well, and I'll be reviewing that again when I get back from vacation for you guys. I can't wait for that, but the Hyakushiki Crash, though, I'm going to pass on that one. I just don't really like the design. Next, the P Bandai Master Grade Gym 2 Semi-Striker is out in January as well for 4,200 yen. I really like the design of the Semi-Striker, but I'm going to pass on this one as well. Just feel like I've gotten a lot of Master Grade Gym variant kits over the past year, and so just kind of didn't really need another one, I think. But it does look pretty cool. If you've never built any of the recent releases, or you're looking for more gym love, I'm sure that will be a really nice solid kit. P Bandai RG Wing Gundam Zero EW clear color version is out in January for 2,700 yen. This is another one that was a Gundam base exclusive kit that's coming out in the P Bandai store. As well as here, the P Bandai RE100 Yakudoga Kesparaya Use. This one's out in January for 4,500 yen. Can't wait for that. I really enjoyed the Guinea Gus version of that, and so this one will be nice as well. It's basically the same thing, different colors, different part for the head, and a different gun for that. I haven't, does that come with water slide decals? I can't remember at the moment. No, I think unfortunately it doesn't, as far as I can see. Really would have been cool if it did, though. If it would have come with like some water slide decals that you could use for both the Kesparaya version and the Guinea Gus version, that would have been nice. But as far as I can tell, I think maybe it doesn't come with any water slide decals, unfortunately. But anyway, the P Bandai HG AC Leo Flight Type is out in January as well for 1,700 yen. Can't wait for that. The Leo Space Type was a really, really fun kit. I really enjoyed that a lot. And the Leo Flight Type also looks like a lot of fun as well, so I can't wait for that one. The P Bandai HGC Narrative Gundam B-Packs set is out in April for 1,300 yen. Again, need to remind you guys that this is not coming with the Gundam itself. You'll have to buy the A-Packs, or I guess later the C-Packs should work as well. You'll have to buy one of those that actually comes with the Gundam first, because this is just the B-Packs armament set, which does look pretty cool. I really like the backpack for this with like the funnels, especially because the funnels have this gimmick where like they open up and they're on wires, or you can have them without the wires. So that whole kind of setup is really cool. The like cut off Jagan shields that it has, I don't really like those at all. Those look pretty stupid. I'm not really into that. So I'm gonna pass on this set, but that backpack does look really cool, I have to say. If anyone's out there is like buying multiples of this one, and because they only want the shields and they don't want to have a spare backpack, then maybe send me a message or something. And yeah. Alright, the P Bandai HGC Gaz L and Gaz R set is out in January as well for 3,500 yen. For that one, again, it's just the different versions of the Garibaldi Beta with some new parts and some new colors and things like that. And then the last P Bandai thing is the P Bandai HGC Jagan D-Type Escort Team Custom. This is also from Gundam Narrative, out in January for 1,800 yen. That one does look really cool. We've got some new images of that, like sample images of the built kit, and it does look really nice. Alright, moving on into just the standard release stuff that's on the way. We've got the 1 to 1700 scale Kikan Taizen white base kit that's coming out in March for 7,400 yen for that. So it's pretty interesting, just model kit of the white base there. And then also the Master Grade Shinanju Stein narrative version out in January next month for 7,500 yen for that one. Also looks nice, and it's just the Master Grade narrative, or sorry, the Master Grade Shinanju Stein with a little bit different parts for that to make the narrative version. A little bit different color as well, slightly. And then, of course, the one that everyone's waiting for is the Master Grade Dynamis Gundam. That one's out in March for 4,500 yen. That should be really nice. The images that we're seeing of that all look really, really solid. So it's got some nice gimmicks in it, nice just look overall, and good details. It should be a really, really nice kit. That will be one to enjoy for sure. The Master Grade XSS Gundam, we haven't got any news or updates about that, so don't know at the moment. That's in limbo. But so let's move on to HG stuff. HGUC, our Jarja is out next month for 1,800 yen. That one is looking like it's going to be really nice. Can't wait for that. As well as the HGUC Gustav Karl coming out in February for 2,400 yen. Haven't seen much updates for that, but I assume we will probably very soon. If not, maybe like right after when I post this video, because Magazine Day in Japan is coming up on the 23rd, and so probably right after I post this video, there'll be a lot more news that I'll miss, but that's okay, I'll get it next time. So Gustav Karl, nothing really new to show at the moment, but I'm sure there will be in the very near future. And then there's the HG Gundam Build Divers GBN Base Gundam, which is still looking pretty awful in my opinion. And a lot of people are talking about they just don't like the colors that it's molded in. It's molded in like that kind of white, milky, pearl white plastic, which is so ugly. But even aside from that, just look at the head sculpt, guys. The face, the head just looks bad. It just looks really weird. So I don't really like the head most particularly. And the rest of the kit, it's fine. It's pretty vanilla. And that's out anyway in next month in January for 1,600 yen. On the other hand, though, this one does look pretty interesting, is the HG Build Divers Gundam Zerachil out in February for 2,700 yen. It's a very interesting take on the Gundam Harut in the new color scheme. It's like dark gray, black, and white. It's pretty interesting. I like most of the new parts for this. It does look really cool. I'm not really too into the new tank mode that it has on the back. It now has like tank treads on its back, so when it transforms it has a flight mode, and it also has a tank mode. And that's a little bit much. I mean, just stick to one. Next thing is the HG Build Custom Heavy Weapon System and SV Custom Set. That's out in January for 1,200 yen. The Heavy Weapon System parts have already been released with that version of the 00 Gundam Sky, and then the SV Custom Part Set is coming with the SV version of the HG Age 2 Magnum that's out this month. I won't be getting that kit and reviewing it for you guys if you're wondering. I passed on the Heavy Weapon System version of the HG 00 Sky, and then also passing on the SV version of the Age 2 Magnum just because of how basically the same the kits are, and I'm just not really too into the looks of them anyway. The updated looks of them anyway. The SV version of the H2 Magnum does look pretty cool, but there really wasn't a whole lot new to it that I really felt like I really wanted to get another one of them. So anyway, the set of those custom parts is just basically exactly that. It's just the set of those custom parts combined with a little bit more in there. But as for a set, this is going to be out next month for 1,200 yen. There is then also the SD Build Divers RX Zero Maru Crime Crystal version. That one's coming out in January for 1,800 yen. Again, another one that I'm going to pass. If you guys follow my channel at all, you know that that's just not really particularly to my taste. I don't think that should come as a surprise to you guys. But that is out next month. As for the HGPG Karagai Aya Fujisawa, haven't seen any news about that in a while, so I don't really know what's going on with that. That was another one that's kind of in limbo at the moment, apparently. But then we do have the Figurized Standard IMA, which is going to be coming out in March for 2,400 yen. Well, we have seen some more about that, and it does look like it's going to be a pretty nice Figurized Standard kit there. And also some new images of the Haropla Mobile Haro. This is out next month for 1,200 yen. I really think this looks pretty ugly, but it's very campy, I think is the right word that I want to say. It's very campy, and I'm just not really too into that. It almost sort of looks like, in a way, that they were trying to maybe go for the market of people who normally prefer builds like Mac K Super Armor Fighting Suits, or like Mechatro Wigo, that kind of stuff, where it's like kind of sort of cute robot, but still kind of cute and cool sort of mix between the robot version of that. And I don't know, yeah, it's kind of fall on their face with that one. I'm not really into it at all. That's pretty much it. There's a few more things here that we've got, like, that we've seen, but we didn't really have any more new information about them, so I'll just kind of skip over that stuff for the time being. Let's just take a look at some third-party and resin stuff. So we got some cool stuff to talk about here. First, an update on some Mechanicore kits. The Mechanicore version of the GPO2, their Pyro Tyrannus kit, is finally in completed form. So they finally just released some finished sample images of what the kit looks like, just built up and lit up. And it looks really good, I think, except for the decals. Really not feeling the decal schemes they have on that. They have like all these like big radioactive logos and all these big like letter decals on that. It just kind of makes an already very busy design more busy by putting all these big, huge decals on it everywhere. So don't really like the decals, but otherwise the kit is looking pretty cool. With the new version of the head on that is pretty interesting, and then of course the LEDs look really nice in that as well. So I'm looking forward to that. But then there's also their Tiefsturmer Plus. Is their version of the Deep Striker. Now, of course, the Tiefsturmer already came out. So it's been 2 years now, maybe. But this Tiefsturmer Plus is in a little bit smaller scale. This is in 1:120 scale. So that should put it right about the same size as Bandai's Master Grade kit, similar in size to that. So if you didn't like how immensely huge their previous version was, which was a 1:100 scale, this is being 1:120 scales, a little bit smaller. This one is set to release in August of next year, but we can probably expect that to be pushed back a little bit, considering it's a design they've already released, although it has a lot of updates and a lot of new parts to it, and just the overall size is shrunken down, everything has a new base and all that. So there is still a lot of work that they have to put into this. I think it's not just like re-releasing the whole thing in just like a different color or something. So I'm sure there's a lot of work that will go into it, but I'm not sure if they'll release. They're always late on their releases, so they say August, so probably expect that maybe around October is probably a little bit more likely, if not like Christmas time. But around the end of next year, that'll be coming out. The list price for it is $375, which is pretty insane. I think the list price originally for the original Tiefsturmer was $350, if I remember correctly. So this one, it costs more, but it's a little bit smaller. But I'm guessing it's still probably containing the same amount of parts, essentially, and still like just a huge amount of plastic. I think the thing of why this one is maybe costing a little bit more, I know there's a lot more going on with the base for one, so that is maybe one reason why it's going to be costing a little bit more. But anyway, if you never got the original kit and you wanted to, this is another chance to get that. It's a little bit different, and I think a lot of the changes they made to this actually are pretty cool. So I think that does look like it's going to be a pretty cool design. But there's that. All right, so let's get into some resin stuff. There's some really cool stuff here to talk about. So first couple things here, simple ones, is a Master Grade Blitz resin conversion kit here from Aether. This is using the just Master Grade Blitz Gundam from Bandai, and you're just swapping out the armor here for the resin dress-up parts here. So this is coming out in February for around $60. You can get that. Not too bad, considering the price for the kit is probably around $40, $45, I think, for the Blitz Gundam, if I had to guess. So if you get that, plus the resin conversion kit, you're paying around $100 plus shipping for the thing in total, which is not bad for a really nice looking kit. Then, of course, painting is required and all that, of course, but that should be pretty nice. I've always wanted to get a Master Grade Blitz. I never have, and so I've thought about this. I'm kind of thinking about this. I do like the look of this resin conversion kit, so maybe considering getting this maybe sometime down the line. Next thing here is a Master Grade Gundam Dynamace resin conversion kit from AOK Silver Oaks Studio. So we've got Bandai's version of the Master Grade Dynamace coming out, and then this company is making a resin conversion kit for that. So choose your poison, which version you like more. Obviously, I think the resin version is going to be a little bit more detailed, but Bandai's version, of course, is going to be very easy to build. So it just depends on what you want. This one uses the Master Grade Exia kit, so you'll have to get a Master Grade Exia and cannibalize that in order to make this, so you'll be kind of losing out with that one. But this one is out in March for $76, so a little bit more expensive. Obviously, the Dynamace has a little bit kind of more going on with the shields and the big rifle and everything for that. But yeah, it looks pretty nice for sure. And then a couple things here from Model Bingo. Model Bingo has made a fair amount of things in the past. Their new kits, though, here are full kits, not conversion kits or not dress-up kits, but full kits. So this is a 1/100 scale, so it would be kind of a Master Grade without being officially a Master Grade, but it's a 1/100 scale God Gundam. Full resin kit here. This one is coming out in March for around $116, which is a lot for a 1/100 scale kit, but it does, of course, look really nice and really nicely detailed and really large. You can see they did a size comparison image here with the size of the regular 1/100 scale Master Grade kit from Bandai, and it's much larger than that. It's more closer in size to being the same size as like the Master Grade new Gundam, Verka. So it's very good sized and very nicely detailed. So I like that a lot. I love the God Gundam, personally. I love just G Gundam as a series as well. So I really like that. But I think I'll probably just stick it out and wait for hopefully a Master Grade 2.0 kit of that to come out someday. Probably wishful thinking, but I would love if we got a Master Grade 2.0 of that and also the Master Gundam. I think that's a little bit more of a stretch, but I love the design of the Master Gundam so much, and I really hate how ugly the proportions are on Bandai's Master Grade. And even the high grade is a little bit better, but not that good. I feel like a 2.0 would really do that design a whole lot of justice. And the last thing here, I saved the best for last, and the most exciting, and also the most expensive. This is the 1:400 scale TR6 inlay full resin kit, also from Model Bingo. This thing is absolutely gigantic and very expensive. This is out in May for $555. I've seen other sites showing it for around $560, $570, even a little bit more. But anyway, I should mention to you guys the prices that I'm listing for these resin kits is all based off of the prices that are listed on Museigen's website. I'll put the link to their site down below. If you want to pre-order any of this stuff, I would recommend their site. I've gotten stuff from them before. Their owner is a really cool guy, and just you should support them. They're a good site, a good way to get these resin kits and resin conversion kits if you're in the market for that kind of stuff. I would recommend shopping there. So I'll link their site down in the description, and that's what these prices are based off of. So this is, huge. It's 66 centimeters tall, including the base. It's 73 centimeters tall, so going to be very big. That's like almost as tall as the HG Neo Zeong kit, so it's very big. Obviously not quite as bulky, but it's very weirdly designed. And being 1/400 scale, that means that the Gundam inside is going to be pretty small. But it also comes with 6 of the KHAR-2s. So if you're familiar with the design, it has the KHAR-2s in like their mobile armor form, and it's got 3 of them mounted on each wing, so 6 in total. And it's going to be including like magnets for those, so you don't have to get magnets separately or rig them up separately. It's going to be included with the set, so you'll have the magnets included for attaching the KHAR-2s up into there. It also is including plastic and metal parts for the joints. So some parts will be able to move and everything. It will be slightly articulated. It won't be completely fixed posed. And then also it is going to be coming with it says a small sheet of Warasai decal. So I don't know what they mean by small. It's a very huge, massive mobile armor. So you'd think it'd have to be like coming with a pretty good size sheet of Warasai decals. But it says small, so I'm guessing maybe it won't be all that expansive. But for the size and everything, I don't know if you really want to put a whole lot of Waterside decals on that. Considering how small 1/44 scale Waterside decals are, anything smaller than that, it's pretty microscopic. So I think probably just putting a few like big logo markings on it will probably be good enough, I would imagine. So we'll see. At the moment, I haven't pulled the trigger on that, but I'm so close to just breaking down and pre-ordering that. I really want to. What I'm trying to do at the moment is trying to see if I can line up a buyer for that who will buy it once I get it and paint it. Obviously, it's going to be costing quite a lot considering that the base kit costs $555 plus probably another at least $50 for shipping, so a $600 kit. And then fully painted and everything obviously is not going to be cheap. So obviously the reason why that's pretty much it for the news, guys. So that if you're only interested in the news, you can cut off the video now, but I'll just kind of take a moment to talk about this. I've mentioned it before in different videos, but the reason why I sell my kits is just because I don't really need them around anymore. I don't know. For me, the joy in building Gunpla is the actual building and painting and doing all of that. I don't really kind of care all that much about having them around after that, like up on my shelf to just look at or something. I would much rather just sell them and let them go to somewhere, to someone who will really enjoy kind of admiring them as well. And then I can put that money into, more kits basically, or, other tools or supplies or just kind of whatever also, or just like helping out my family, just money for my family. So whatever. I feel like if I can get all of the enjoyment that I get out of the building process and all of that, and then sell my kits and then other people can enjoy them as well, I can make some money to help support me, support my family, then that's good. That's why I sell my kits. I know most people don't, and that's fine. It's just something that I'm totally okay with it. A lot more people I think maybe just feel more connected, like they don't want to let that stuff go, but I've got photos, I've got videos, documentation of them. I had the enjoyment, the experience of building and painting stuff, and that's the important thing for me. So with this as well, I really want to get this kit, and it looks really, really super cool, and I really want to build and paint it, but don't really want to keep it just for the number one reason is just space. I don't know where I put it. It's too huge. But also just because, yeah, I just want to build it and paint it, and then after that, sell it. So obviously, I don't want to do all that work for free. I'm not just going to resell it at the same price that I paid for it. But yeah, it's going to be expensive to resell that. So if you're interested in buying a painted 1/400 scale TR6 Gundam inlay later on, let me know, and then you'll basically kind of like reserve that, or kind of it'll be basically a commission at that point. But if you or anyone you know would be interested in that, then get in touch with me and we'll sort it out. And that's it for this episode of Gunpla News, and with a little bonus rant there at the end. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I'm going to be enjoying my time off, but also I've got a lot of things that I'm working on that I'll be very excited to come back to work on some more. So a lot of cool stuff in the works. I'm glad that I was able to get some of my projects that had been like just kind of like floating around on my desk for a long time finished. Don't worry, I've got other projects that are still on my desk that are in the process of being finished as well. So those are on the way. And then a couple other kits. I've got, I think, two kits that are like ready for paint. They just need to be washed, and then those are going to be painted straight away. That would be the RE100 GP04 Gerbera kit, as well as the Aoshima 148 scale Levitine kit. I've got that all sanded up, ready for paint. So those kits I'm going to be painting in the very near future. And then I've also got the 100 scale CeraVe kit, which I recently reviewed for you guys. That is mostly sanded. Just need to work a little bit more on some seam line removal on that. But I'll be working on finishing that up and then getting that painted as well in the near future as well, beginning of next year. And then also need to get started on painting the Master Grade Deep Striker kit. That is going to be a commission for USA Gundam Store. So I'm going to be painting that up and then later sending that to USA Gundam Store. So later, if you guys ever visit USA Gundam Store in Florida, later on you'll be able to see my painted Deep Striker will be there sometime later next year. Also, I think I'm going to try to paint my Neo Zeong. Because I'm getting the Neo Zeong 2, I kind of don't want to have two of them at once. So I want to paint the original one and then probably sell that to make room for the new one. But that'll be a pretty big project. As you guys know, it's a very large kit, so that'll be something to work on. And I think I want to enter GBWC again next year. I've been on the fence about it just because of how much of a hassle it is to enter here in Korea. But I've got a pretty cool idea, and just after our episodes of Gunpla Talks, where we're just talking with the winners of GBWC and just about their experience in Japan, I really want to go to Japan. That would be a lot of fun, like for a GBWC. So I've got a pretty cool idea, and I think I'm going to go for it and try to win Korea next year. So we'll see. I'll talk more about that in the near future, guys. I've got a lot of projects that I would like to finish before doing that, so I'm going to be slamming and jamming, getting stuff done, and working on a whole bunch of fun stuff and sharing it all with you guys in 2019. I will also have my 2018 Best and Worst Kits video coming out in the near future for you guys as well. I'm not sure if I'll get that done, get that recorded before I leave for vacation. If not, I'll get it out for you guys as soon as I get back in the middle of January. So look forward to that in the future, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.